everyone. Today we are diving into a subject that's reshaping how industries, both hardware and software, solve problems creatively. That's design thinking. It's not just a buzzword anymore. It's a structured innovation framework that companies like Apple, Tesla, Google, and Infosys use to develop breakthrough products and solutions.
Sir, I have come across the term a lot, especially in startup circles, but what exactly the design thinking?
Great place to start, Shasmita. As its core, design thinking is a human-centered approach to problem solving. It combines what's desirable from a human point of view, what's technically feasible, and what's economically viable. The process typically follows 5 stages: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. And remember, this is not linear, it's iterative. You may jump back and forth between the stages.
So sir, how does it apply differently to hardware and software industries?
Fantastic question. Let's start by imagining 2 scenarios. In the hardware industry, say a company like Bosch is designing a smart electric screwdriver for field technicians. They face usability issues that the tool is powerful, but technicians find it too bulky and the controls unintuitive. In the software industry, imagine a banking app where users are struggling to navigate features even though technologically everything works perfectly. In both cases, traditional engineering might improve the power for hardware or add more functions for software. But design thinking goes deeper. It asks a few questions like, what does the user actually feel? Where does the frustration originate? Can we redesign the experience, not just the product?
So it starts with empathy?
Exactly. Empathy is step 1. In our Bosch example, the design team would shadow technicians on site, watch how they hold the tools, where they struggle, what they improvise. Similarly, in software, researchers might observe real users using the app, identifying if they hesitate, scroll aimlessly, or abandon the task midway.
Sir, how does this lead to real innovation?
Because empathy uncovers hidden pain points. Let me give you a real case. In hardware, a leading wheelchair manufacturer used design thinking. Engineers believed they needed a lighter frame, but empathy research showed users actually struggled with the doorway maneuverability and social stigma. The result? A new chair with a compact pivoting frame and customizable covers, solving the right problem. In software, a food delivery app in India discovered through user observation that semi-literate users relied heavily on icons, not text. Instead of improving the text search, they redesigned the app using icon-based navigation and voice input, increasing adoption by over 35%.
That's brilliant. So after empathy comes defining the problem?
Correct. The define stage is where you synthesize your observations and craft a problem statement, but not just any problem, it should be user-centered. For example, redesign the grip on the tool is the wrong statement in the design thinking, whereas the field technicians need a grip that reduces wrist strain after prolonged use is the right statement if you implement the design thinking concept.
This makes the solution more focused, right?
Exactly, Sujit. Then comes ideation, the fun part. Here, teams brainstorm as many ideas as possible. No judgment, wild ideas encouraged. In Bosch case, the ideas ranged from sensor-based auto-adjusting torque to voice-activated screw depth control. In software, ideas might include gesture-based commands, personalized onboarding based on user type, or AI chatbots for feature discovery.
And then you prototype, right?
Yes, but not full-scale development. Low-fidelity prototypes such as mock-ups, sketch, cardboard models, even clickable wireframes. In hardware, they may 3D print new handles for field test. In software, they might use tools like Figma or Adobe XD to simulate UI without writing code.
That's lean and fast. And the test stage?
The test stage involves giving your prototype to real users and collecting feedback, not to validate but to learn. If your idea fails, that's excellent. It means you are iterating before costly development. A tech startup once tested a smart wearable for truck drivers that alerts them if they show signs of drowsiness. Initial tests showed drivers took it off because it vibrated too much. Instead of scrapping the idea, they redesigned it to use air-based temperature and pulse sensors with a gentle voice warning. Adoption went up by 50%.
So design thinking is about fail fast, learn faster.
Beautifully put, Shasmita. It embraces ambiguity and iteration. This is especially powerful in today's industries that need agile innovation, not waterfall process.
Sir, is there any difference in how hardware versus software industries adopt design thinking?
Definitely, in hardware, iterations are expensive. Materials, manufacturing, logistics. So prototyping must be smart and cost effective. In software, changes are easier. Versions can be updated overnight. But the challenge is in user behavior prediction and user interface psychology. Here are your key takeaways. First one, start with empathy. Second one, solve with the right problem. Third one is the prototype, do the prototypes. Fourth one, mix disciplines. Fifth one, make your ideas user validated, not manager approved.
So this makes engineering more human, more purposeful.
Exactly, engineering is not just about systems and codes. It's about people. Design thinking makes your solutions not just smart but meaningful.